600 bombers entered the night over Nazi-occupied France. Most would come home, some would not. But aboard one burning Lancaster, something happened that would redefine courage forever. As fire tore through the aircraft, as the crew jumped into darkness, one man turned back. Not to save the mission, not to save himself, but to walk straight into hell for a friend.
June 12, 1944. High above Europe, the night sky hums with the sound of engines. More than 600 Allied bombers move in long, dark formations toward occupied northern France. Among them flies a single Avro Lancaster, KB-726. Inside the aircraft.
Mid-dono for 2 pilot, target area heavily illuminated, holding course.
He watches pale beams of German searchlights stab upward, locking onto bombers ahead. Each beam is a death sentence. Where the light settles, night fighters soon follow. Explosions bloom in the distance as aircraft vanish and fire. I in the cockpit. 22-year-old pilot Arthur Debrain grips the controls. "Looks like fighters, lads," he says calmly. "No flak yet." Moments later, the calm shatters. At the rear of the aircraft, tail gunner Pat Brophy sees a sudden flash below. "Light flak, skipper!" Bursts of fire erupt beneath the Lancaster. Then, one spotlight. 2. 3. The aircraft is caught in a cone of blinding light. Crew members squint, half blind as the glare floods the cockpit. "Hang on, we're coned!" Debrain throws the Lancaster into a violent corkscrew. The massive bomber plunges and twists through the sky. Mynarski braces himself as the turret whips around, the aircraft groaning under the strain. At the bottom of the dive, Debrain hauls the controls back, pulling the Lancaster up through cloud. The searchlights fall away. For a brief moment, it seems they've escaped. But darkness doesn't mean safety. German crews often kill their lights once a fighter has locked on, and behind the Lancaster, a Ju-88 night fighter slides silently into position. Brophy's night vision returns just in time for his stomach to drop. A twin-engine silhouette fills his view. "Bogey astern! 6 o'clock!" Debrain reacts instantly, rolling into another corkscrew. Brophy swings his guns, but the fighter slips beneath the aircraft and disappears. "I've lost him." The crew scans the sky, tense and silent.
Pressure. Move!
He fires, tracer rounds streaking downward. But the Ju-88 is built for this fight. Its cannons are angled upward, perfect for attacking from below, where the Lancaster can't defend itself. The German fighter opens fire. From the mid-upper turret, Mynarski watches 20mm shells tear into the left wing. Engines fail. Fuel ignites. A fireball erupts, spreading flames along the wing and into the fuselage. Shrapnel rips through the aircraft, severing cables and rupturing hydraulic lines. Oil sprays everywhere. Then it catches fire. Inside the Lancaster, flames roar through the aircraft. Instruments die. The bomber lurches violently left as thrust becomes uneven. "We're hit! Port engine's gone!" Flying blind at low altitude, Debrain knows they're out of time. "Bail out! Bail out, now!" The signal goes out. Most of the crew scramble for the exits. But in the rear turret, Brophy hears nothing. "Skipper? Can you hear me?" No response. Heat floods the turret. Brophy looks back and sees fire racing toward the fuselage, toward his parachute hanging just out of reach. He tries to rotate the turret. Nothing moves. Hydraulics are gone to escape. The turret doors must align with the fuselage. But the flames are closing fast, and his parachute isn't with him. Thinking quickly, Brophy forces a door open just enough to hook his arm through and grab the chute. He yanks it inside and straps it on. Now he has seconds. Without hydraulics, only a hand crank can move the turret. He cranks desperately. It snaps, trapped elsewhere in the aircraft. The crew continues evacuating, unaware. Mynarski drops from his turret, clips on his parachute, and moves toward the exit. Just before jumping, he glances toward the tail. Through thick smoke and burning oil, he sees Brophy, still inside the turret. Something is wrong. Without hesitation, Mynarski grabs an axe and charges into the flames. He crawls through the narrow tail section as fire eats through his flight suit. His clothes ignite. Pain sears his legs. Still, he keeps moving. Brophy sees him emerge from the fire. "Andy, don't! Go back!" Mynarski ignores him. He jams the axe into the turret mechanism and pulls with everything he has. It won't move. He drops the axe and grabs the metal with his bare hands. The turret shifts, just slightly. Not enough. Brophy watches in horror as Mynarski's legs are fully engulfed in flames. They lock eyes. On Brophy's helmet hangs a 4-leaf clover, found and given to him by Mynarski earlier that day. Mynarski tries once more, screaming with effort. His arms shake. The turret barely moves. At last, he understands. He steps back into the fire. Burning, barely standing, Mynarski reaches the escape hatch. He turns, straightens himself, and raises his hand in salute. He shouts something Brophy can't hear, but he doesn't need to. It's what Mynarski always said. "Good night, sir." Then he jumps. At the front of the aircraft. DeBrain watches what he believes is the final crew member exit. He throttles back the engines and leaps moments before the Lancaster plunges earthward, still loaded with bombs. Inside the wrecked bomber, Brophy waits. He prays, not for himself, but for his crew. And for Andy. The Lancaster clips a tree and spins violently. The force tears the rear turret from the aircraft, hurling it through the forest. The turret smashes into the ground, and Brophy is thrown free. Silence. He wakes among burning wreckage, alive. French resistance fighters later find him and help him evade capture for months until Allied forces arrive. Andrew Mynarski does not survive his injuries. When Brophy learns the truth, the weight of it never leaves him. He spends the rest of his life telling the world what his friend did that night. For walking into fire to save another man, Andrew Mynarski is awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest honor for bravery, and his story lives on.